top two passers in the history of Canadian college football, waging battle one last time.
We knew it was going to be a battle down to the very end, and it was.
It was back and forth. It was two teams just giving it their all and leaving everything on the field.
Brannigan's looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Wings. Classical throw back to Falls. A little trickery. Going deep. Touchdown, Mustangs. Touchdown, Gales. And the Mustangs have the lead. And he is thrilled. Forget playing it safe. Another big play from West. He's got a Gales touchdown. The lead goes back to Queens. The seventh lead change in this football game. I'm not sure how to do this game justice.
It's one of those games that we believe OUA football is all about.
Just being a fan of quarterbacks in general, you know, having Brannigan and Folds going head-to-head in the biggest games of their careers, both fifth-year guys. That was, you know, a clash of the titans really between those two guys. So that was fun to watch.
So many different storylines throughout it. I think that just the excitement of the day, being there, the energy that was in the stadium.
Of course, the headline was going into the game was Brannigan versus Falls, Marshall versus Sheehan. Two traditions, Queens versus Western.
It's also more than that because I think it's the students, I think it's the alumni, everyone gets involved in it.
I felt that the winner of that game was going to win the Vanier, in which they did, and we were that close to doing it.
Falls for the lead. The catch is made, and they will mark it out at the inch line.
Well, I didn't see anything on the play because my responsibility is the coverage of the quarterback.
The way it happened, that play was kind of in the farthest corner from where I was, so you kind of don't have the best perspective. You can't really tell how close is it.
But after speaking with the official who made that call, and after watching the tape, of which I've watched that play about 50 times, he was in the right spot. I think he made the right call.
I tried to put it right at that front pylon, and to me it looked like a touchdown. Obviously we didn't get the call and we were out at the 1.
Ooh. Oh, that to me, it looked like it crossed the plane.
If we had video replay, I would not have overturned that call.
I still think about it daily, partly because of the knee injury I suffered in that game.
Falls on the roll. Look into the flats. It falls incomplete. And Falls is down on the turf and slow to get up. This is the last thing that you want to see.
I tore my knee earlier in that year, and it went out every single game, but the timing that it happened in that game, of course, with 50 seconds left, was just heartbreaking.
And Mike Falls can barely make it on the field.
This is unbelievable.
I couldn't even get out on the field, so Donnie went out, ran the second down play, and then finally the third down play happens. And I stand up again, and I told Marshall, and I looked him in the eyes and said, win or lose, this is my last CIS play ever. I'm going out there and I'm going to throw this ball. So he granted me that wish, and I still thank him today for that.
Michael Falls will get to determine his fate.
The one thing that sticks in my mind was the courage and determination of Michael Falls. Coming back onto the field when he was injured for that last play of the football game, it reminded me of a Kirk Gibson moment.
The lasting memory is seeing Folds hobble out onto the field, you know, just fighting to keep that career going. And
he can't even drop. He's going to get rid of it though. Throw it, and it incomplete.
given everything he had, literally everything he had for his team to win that game, that was something that really struck a chord with me, and I know with a lot of young football fans.
I definitely earned a ton of respect from a lot of people. It doesn't matter if they were young kids coming up to me, elderly parents and grandparents of players from other teams. I had hundreds of emails after the game, other coaches calling Coach Marshall, and he would pass on the messages to me. So it was amazing, the outpouring of respect I gained from that.
You know, it stands out in my mind about that game. Just he's a competitor, and it's pretty much what that game was all about.
I'm not sure anyone lost here. We just ran out of time. The Queens Golden Gales are Yates Cup champions.
What I remember the most about that game was how we were the whole officiating crew was physically and emotionally drained after the game.
I don't think we will ever see the nation's top 2 passers all time meet each other ever again.
2 quarterbacks throwing for over 500 yards in a game, because it's the Yates Cup, because it's Queens and Western, because of the tradition.
Sports broadcasters often throw around the term instant classic way too easily. But here, the oldest trophy in football was awarded in an instant classic.
Definitely sour memories, but also good memories too, because it was a battle, and people today still talk about that game.
MVP, 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 MVP.
It's always nice to be able to go out and win the last game that you play, and not many people can do that. So it's something that whenever you run into anyone who was on the team, or one of the coaches, or one of the fans, or someone who watched it, it's always something that you can talk about and people remember it quite fondly.
For the first time in 31 years, the Queens Gales are Yates Cup champions.